Hello friends, welcome back to Almost Mexican. It is Carlos Anthony, and today we are gonna make a delicious ceviche, and you are gonna make it too. And I'm gonna show you how to do it. It's simple, it's easy, it's fresh, and it's delicious. It's good any time of year. You're gonna love, love, love this recipe. Any good ceviche starts with a good fish. And shout out to my local fishmonger, Tommy Gomes, for hitting us up with this local rockfish. Now, this fish has already been filleted. Go to your local grocery store and ask them. They will clean it for you. There is still a few bones here. Don't be scared of bones. It's all right. I'm gonna show you how we can clean this up, make it really easy, and make a delicious lunch snack. So, when we're dealing with this fish, as you can see, this rockfish, and trust me, if you have tilapia or halibut or you have a nice little cod, all of these will go great in ceviche. Just try to use the freshest fish possible. Give it a good smell. You don't want it to smell like seafood. Now that is a misnomer. If you smell it, it's probably not a good thing. It should smell fresh and delicious. So we have our fish. You can see this is one half of the fish. Imagine I'm the fish right now. This is my fish, this is the face, and this is this little body running around. And right here would be the little arm. And at the arm, there's a connection of bones, okay? These bones are not on the rib cage. They kind of go sideways through the belly. And what we're gonna wanna do is we're just gonna cut those out. Now, you could painstakingly pull these out with tweezers, but what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cut it. Use your knife and try to get as close to the bone as possible. You can feel it, they're firm, you can feel it. And just make a little cut. Right here on this side, go just right next to it and V-cut, and you can just pull those things right out, okay? Now, if you're scared about missing them, just touch it. Feel your fish. It's okay. There's nothing there, there's nothing sharp, there's nothing poking me, so it's ready to cut for my ceviche. So, when you're cutting your ceviche, size does matter. No matter what they say to you, size does matter. If I cut it really large, it's gonna take longer for it to marinate. If I cut it small, it's gonna happen very quickly. Now, the most important part of this is that you cut them evenly. Now, the reason for that is that you want this to cook at the same time. Now, try to do your best to keep nice little planks even size. Now, a plank is just a little piece of the fish. It's also a wonderful workout routine where you just stretch your body, but this is for the fish plank. So taking your planks, coining that word, you're just gonna cut little dices. Now, the larger you cut them, the more time it'll need to be in the lime juice. It'll need to cook. So I'm gonna cut small pieces so this cooks kind of quickly, and also thinking about the size of your veg. I've got beautiful fresh produce in front of me, and I'm gonna want these all to be the same size. We've got our fish here cut into beautiful pieces, and we're gonna take a good pinch of salt and the juice of 4 limes. You heard that right, 4 limes. The acid in here is what is gonna cook our fish. It's gonna give it a wonderful texture and flavor. We want to mix it up so that lime juice is evenly coated all over. This is, like I've told you, is going to cook the fish. So we want to allow it to touch all corners of that cut up fish. Okay, we're going to set this aside. So a couple classic things that go in there. We have red onion, we have a chili pepper, a little bit of tomato in there, touch of cucumber for color. And what I love is a sweet mango in there. This is gonna cut against that acid of the lime juice and the heat from the jalapeno, and it's gonna be so delicious. But, you know, if you like pineapple, throw it in there. If you've got extra strawberries in your house, I bet you it's delicious. Try it, have fun, experiment. All we're gonna do is dice this up. When our cooking is done. I mean, that's how easy ceviche is. I love to use red onion for a ceviche. This is a bright onion that eats really well. It's bright, it's punchy. So we've kept that intact, and that's gonna allow us to cut along the lines of the onion to make really nice, beautiful, even dice. So I just follow the lines now that I have it cut in half. Thinking about that ceviche, those fish cuts that I had already done, I want them to all be about the same size. Cutting right along the lines. I'm gonna go down the middle, If you want it a little bit smaller, you can do that twice. I'm just gonna go right down the middle, and then we're just gonna cut. And that's gonna make perfect, even, diced red onion. Throw that right into your bowl with your marinating fish. Let's get a chili pepper in there. Again, this is where you're allowed to be experimental. If you don't want it to be too spicy, put a poblano in there. Put an Anaheim pepper. Jalapeno's got a little bit more heat. I never take the seeds off, you know, because if I have a jalapeno, I want a jalapeno. I don't want a jalapeno that's deseeded. So I've cut it and now I'm dicing it. I love to have jalapeno all throughout. So I'm gonna just kind of run through it here and really mince it. This is so that I have a little bit of heat in every bite. Pro tip while I have you here, this jalapeno is hot, okay? Whether you use a jalapeno or serrano, it is spicy. And now you see me, I'm using my hands. If I touched my face right now, I'd be in a whole hell of a lot of trouble, okay? It'd be a big problem, all right? You wanna be really careful. Now, I've trained for this, okay? I've spent my whole life preparing for this. I could rub this in my eyeball right now, and I'd be fine.
Do it!
But you at home might not be the same.
Do it!
Okay? It is. Do it. Do it. We got to finish. I'm terrified. So what you want to do anytime you use jalapeno, make sure you wash your hands, wash the knife, wipe down your cutting board, okay? That heat lingers and it stays on your surfaces. Let's get a little cucumber in there. I love cucumber in my ceviches. It adds a lot of texture and a lot of flavor. You could peel this. I'm gonna just go ahead and make it into squares so it's a little easier for me to cut. Make a nice little rectangle here. If you've got a little bit of skin on there, that's totally fine. Nobody's gonna judge you for that. But what I've done now is I've made it really easy for me to cut. Here's planks again, all right? The old plank term where I'm just making even little flats, okay? So now we're gonna come back the other way and we're gonna cut matchsticks. This is a big old matchstick right here. But you can see they're all even. Don't worry about the seeds, okay? Some people will tell you to take the seeds out, not this guy, all right? Use them, put them in there, they're delicious. But now I can make little squares and you can see they're absolutely perfect because I spent time to square up my sides. I now have a perfect dice. Okay, that goes right into the bowl. Let's get a little tomato in there. This is gonna add a little bit of sweetness and color. So what I'm doing with these tomatoes are, unlike the cucumber that, I'd really probably second guessing myself here because I'm taking the seeds out of these tomatoes, but I didn't do it out of the cucumbers. So I don't know, I'm either lying to you or it's not as important as I think. But for, consistency's sake, I'm just gonna take these ones out. I've quartered the tomato. I like to cut it with the skin down using the knife. Trying to cut on the skin just makes it's a little rubbery, so it's a little hard. You'll find your knife slipping and sliding. But if you go with the flesh side, that inside up, it's a lot easier to cut. Okay, we're gonna keep that dice game going, and we're gonna dice small dice here. A little bit of color, a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of flavor. Okay, bang! What a treat. I really, kind of feel it. Like I put 2 tomatoes in there. Why not another one? I'm really looking at the color, the consistency. Again, ceviche, it's your baby. You kind of go with your heart. Here we go. We got our tomatoes cut up, diced. I've de-seeded the tomatoes and I've left the seeds in the cucumber. That was on purpose. Okay, don't believe everything you read. There was a theory behind that. Just don't know what it is yet. We're gonna take a little bit of cilantro, a little cilantro chiffonade. It's just a fancy way of saying that I roll it up. I roll it up real tight, and I'm gonna cut it thin. I love the stems of cilantro. Don't let anybody tell you different. There's a lot of flavor in there, and there's a little bit of texture. So it's kind of silly to throw them away. Just cut them thin so they don't get stuck in your teeth. Nobody wants that. Bada bing, bada boom. Flavored. Got our cilantro And meanwhile, this whole time, our fish has been marinating and cooking inside of there. All right, now for the piece de resistance, we've got a beautiful ripe mango. Now, I'm sure a lot of you at home are trying to wonder, like, how do I tell if the mango is ripe? Is it the color? Is it the smell? Is it the way it feels? The truth of it is, it's a little bit of all that. Anytime I'm picking fresh produce, I really want to make sure I'm putting my hands on it and I'm smelling it and I'm feeling it. Now, I want it to have a little bit of give to make sure that it's ripe. Now, if you've got a really dark green mango and it is firm, that's fine. Put it in a bag, put it on your counter for a few days, and it's gonna ripen right up. But for this application, you're gonna want a nice ripe mango. So this one's got a little soft. You can tell it's got that beautiful red color starting to come through. And we're gonna cut it, again, we're gonna cut the bottom off of it, and we're gonna cut the top. Now, the tricky part about a mango is that big seed in the middle. And the seed isn't necessarily round, it's got an oval shape. So I take it bottom and top off, and then I'm gonna come around it. You can imagine that little seed living inside of there, and I don't wanna get the seed, so I kind of take an edge, and I come around it, okay? Come around it, beautiful. And so you can see the seed is in there. There's also a little bit of something brown in there, that's fine, that's just nature. Ladies and gentlemen, don't worry about it too much. Okay, we'll cut that piece out, and then I'll go around again so I'm not getting the seed. The seed is very fibrous. Now, as a kid, Grandpa used to always just give me this seed. It's quite delicious. Don't throw this away. This is delicious. Enjoy it. So, I've got these mango halves right here, and now what I want to do is I want to just use the back as my guide to cut little perfect squares. Okay? And now come back this way. Don't cut yourself. Come back this way. Bada bing, bada boom. All right? And then all you need to do is take a back of a spoon. And just like that, you've got perfectly diced mango. Kind of. Sort of. We'll break it up a little bit. Nice ripe mango is going to make this really easy. And then now you're also getting the bonus of that delicious juice right in there. Okay, we've got ourselves a delicious ceviche. Mango ceviche. And now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna mix this together, incorporating that lime juice all throughout, mixing all that delicious vegetable that we cut. Look at that, fresh, delicious, healthy. Can you beat it? Can you beat it? Tell me, can you? One of the things I like to do to tell if my fish is cooked is the color. It started out really translucent, and now it's starting to get a little bit white. That means the acid is doing its job, it's working, it's cooked. Oh my goodness. Wow. Now, this is a great time. If you feel like it needs a little bit more acid, if you'd like it to be a little bit spicier, add another chili pepper in there. You know, if you feel like, heck man, it needs more salt right now, do it. Always taste as you go. That's the secret to being a good chef. I've got my delicious mango ceviche. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Love to finish with a touch of salt and a good finishing olive oil, okay? We're not cooking anything. We just want flavor. A little bit of richness right over the top of that is gonna do wonders. Amazing. Check us out. Take a little bit more of that cilantro. Can never get enough. Can never get enough. And look at that. We just made an authentic, well, almost authentic mango ceviche. I'm Carlos Anthony. This is Almost Mexican. See you next week.